In other news, experts are warning that weak coordination and poor use of early warning data are turning predictable climate disasters into full-blown humanitarian crises across the IGAD region. They say mounting climate shocks could fuel cross-border displacement unless governments move faster to translate climate data into early action. Our reporter Aaron Marie has the details.
Despite billions of shillings allocated annually for climate disaster preparedness and response across the IGAD region, experts say only 15% of the funds reach affected communities. Head of Disaster Risk Management at ICPAC, Dr. Hamid Abdihan, says member states must act on early warning information before disasters strike.
For example, if I start globally, what has been invested on climate and climate action is very much less of what is coming to the communities. Actually, about 10 to 15% of the climate fund is reaching the communities that really need them.
This, the one, exposes deep coordination and accountability gaps that are turning predictable climate shocks into humanitarian emergencies.
I think time that we translate the warnings that have been issued from our center, also from national Met services, to be translated into early action. For that, I think what IGAD is doing at the moment is we are co-developing with member states what we call an anticipatory action roadmap to make sure that our early warnings are translated into early action. Yeah, so that's, I think, a very important move. And this particular workshop is convened as part of IGAD efforts to try to work with member states and address the disaster, drought, floods and others head on.
Speaking at a regional disaster risk management expert meeting in Machakos, specialists noted that failure to deliver resource to the last mile is undermining early interventions, leaving vulnerable population exposed to droughts, floods and extreme weather events.
Rise in temperatures, landslides that recently we had this year in Mara Mountains of Sudan, also landslides in Kenya, flooding in South Sudan, other parts of the region, and these are causing a lot of disruption in livelihood and causing a lot of mobility. The IGAD Secretariat has designed this project Mobility in the Context of Disaster and Climate Change to address these challenges, and addressing these challenges in a way that it looks into institutional capacity of the IGAD Secretariat, as well as supporting member states to build capacity and integrate mobility-induced climate change into their national plans.
Experts further caution that delayed response is likely to increase climate-induced mobility across the IGAD region, with growing numbers of people forced to move in search of food, water and safety.
Nowadays, people are not only moving due to various reasons. Climate is one of the reasons that let people move across borders. And for them to have a safe and dignified way of moving, we need also to support them and provide the necessary support for those who are moving due to climate. Not only those who are moving from conflict, and you find also the region is also a conflict-prone region. There are member states that are still experiencing conflict, like South Sudan and Somalia and Sudan currently, and Sudan has the worst humanitarian crisis in the region and across the world. And unfortunately, people move because of conflict, but then again, this conflict is also compounded by climate change, so it becomes a double burden.
From now on, they are urging a IGAD member state to shift from crisis response to anticipatory, data-driven disaster risk management, where early warning information triggers predefined actions and timely release of funds.
In terms of addressing, this is a complex issue and therefore requires complex solution. And for us to have that complex solution, we need your expertise. We need each and everyone to provide us what are the best practices, what is Kenya doing, what is Somalia doing, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Uganda, because the climate disasters in our countries are felt in different capacities depending on the systems, the resilience of our communities, the resilience of our systems, and the capacities and the resources in the different but also respective member government.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Aaron Marie.